It turns out that Elon Musk isn't the only one in his family with some strange thoughts about birth rates and reproduction. His mother was on Fox News for some reason and said this.
People don't want to have, they're talking about the birth rate, which your son talks a lot about it declining and the problems for humanity with that. And you said to his response about it being too expensive to have kids, you said, that's not the way to think about this. Explain.
Well, when I had my children, we were in a 2-bedroom small apartment overlooking a garage. And then the next year, I have the second child, we had an apartment with a view. And then by the third child, we could get a 2-bedroom house. And you just, as you move on, you start doing better and better. But people, you don't have to go to the movies. You don't have to go out for dinner. You can just spend time with the most wonderful gifts you can ever have.
Exactly.
As the children.
As the mines did better and better,
the mines
as the
had a
slaves
view of
brought
the
in
emeralds.
more and more.
Yeah,
the emeralds just keep piling, and you get a bigger and bigger home.
You've got a pretty good posh accent. This interview needed whoever that footballer is to lean in and be like, you drove your kids around in a Rolls Royce, didn't you? It's got that Posh Spice Netflix documentary feel to it. Yeah, no, you guys were so struggling and it was so hard for you. And who needs to have entertainment or food or whatever? Produce more cogs for the machine, you peasant scum. That's what I get from her. It is incredibly expensive. It's becoming more expensive to have kids. Here's a scary chart. Let's put this up.
No.
Thanks to fast fashion, that part hasn't gone up too much. But other than that, a lot of it has. And is Musk, the richest man in the world, offering subsidies to those of us who decide to sign on to have kids so that he can feel more comfortable about the future or whatever? No. By the way, I was speculating, if he thinks it's so important for us to have kids, he could provide a fund, stock it with $50 billion a year or whatever, that's pocket change for him, to subsidize IVF treatments for people. He could actually do something. Is he willing to sacrifice any of his wealth? No, he just thinks you should all sacrifice wealth you don't even have to have kids, because he listened to a TED Talk someday in the past about population growth or whatever. So you should have kids you can't afford. That's what I'm getting from our overlords.
There's so much. No, don't get me started, John. What are you trying to trigger me? This is just like endless, mothers are dying right now. Mothers are dying. Mothers who currently have children who are pregnant, trying to keep a healthy child alive, suffer miscarriage, or the child has some sort of, deformity, which happens, sorry to say, and those people are dying. So miss me with any of this, have more kids. Into what world? Into what healthcare system? Under whose watch? Women are treated as second-class citizens. They are vessels, and if they die, if the child dies, to hell with it all. To say nothing of if they survive, okay, then we have all of these costs and everything. And if Elon Musk ever started an IVF bank, stay clear away from that. This is the guy who's, his stocking stuffers are just a jar of his sperm. Are you kidding me? No.
I don't
These
actually
people
want to do that.
never lived in reality when it comes to having kids. And they then browbeat you. And then, of course, their answer to everything else is, well, you should privatize it. Homeschool them because schools are too woke, right? Stay at home, forfeit your own job, even though you need 2 incomes to basically raise children. I don't understand anyone who doesn't do that. Forfeit your own job, stay at home, whatever. And I said this on Blue Sky, but honestly, having a kid is one of the most radicalizing things when you understand the amount of work, the amount of housework, the lack of a support, not just community, but a healthcare support, doctors and nurses, the lack of preschool support, the lack of community support, everyone is just someone giving you a side eye on a plane while you're desperately trying to get your child to stop crying. That is this country when it comes to children.
Yeah. Yes. Follow Francesca on Blue Sky. I've posted about fatherhood and Blue Sky as well. I'm on there as well. But yeah, I think that having a kid is the best thing that I've ever done, and I hope everyone who wants to do it can do it and can afford to do it and should be helped out by our government. We are the
Yes.
richest country in the history of the world. If we want more of it to happen, the way that you do that is by making it attainable and affordable, not just browbeating people to screw more, okay? That's not actually the solution to the problem. This is government by Pokemon Go to the polls. It doesn't actually solve the problems we face, okay? And while Elon Musk in the past like 4 years has made 90% of his wealth that he has, childcare costs have gone up 30%. If you want people to have more kids, fix that. Stop extracting our wealth. Stop rigging the system to benefit you and your class that already has more money than you could spend if you live to be 10,000 years old. If the necessary corollary to that is that regular people can't afford to buy a home, rent an apartment, or even have one kid. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.